Alright, so imagine you're going out. You go to your usual spot. Every week you go there, you see the regulars, you see your friends, you see your acquaintances, having a good time, chilling, music, everybody's having fun. The vibe is right, having a good time. All of a sudden, something really hard and blunt just comes crushing down on your head. Out of nowhere, right? Out of nowhere. And you are, you're unconscious, but barely. You see people running for the door. You can see people being beaten, your friends being pushed and shoved. And you're thinking to yourself, what's going on? Like, what is all of this? Like, I come here every week. I don't understand what's going on. Well, essentially, that is what happened at Stonewall riots and Stonewall Inn. My presentation is going to be on the Stonewall riots of 1969. I'm going to be talking about what the Stonewall riots were and what happened. I'm going to be talking about the effect that had on through our history and today, if any. So the Stonewall Inn was a largely known gay bar in New York's Greenwich Village in the 1960s. And in June of 1969 it was raided. And it wasn't a surprise because that's what was happening at this time. A lot of gay bars and gay clubs were being raided in New York City by police at this time. And but something was different that night. The patrons actually decided to fight back. A rebellion had begun. What sparked the actual riot is unknown. Craig Rodwell, a riot veteran and gay rights activist, says a number of incidents were happening simultaneously. There was no one thing or one person just one person that was there. It was a flash group of massive anger. That was a direct quote from him. I got that from socialistalternative.org. As the police raided the bar, a crowd of 400 or so patrons gathered on the streets outside and watched the officers arrest the bartender, arrest the doorman, and arrest and beat some drag queens. Anger swelled, and the crowd grew to almost 2,000 people that night. The people began to shout gay power as beer bottles and trash cans went flying. The police did attempt to beat the crowd away and get it under control, but they still fought back. It wasn't until 4 a.m. that the riots had ended and everything was cleared up. But the next night, the crowd appeared again. This time it was even bigger. They protested on the streets outside the Stonewall Inn. This went on for about 2 hours until the police sent a riot control squad to disperse the crowd. On the third night, approximately 1,000 protesters returned to continue the protest and marched on Christopher Street. That's when the movement had begun. Pictures are showing up. Alright. What impact did it have? Stonewall united the gay community in New York in the fight against discrimination. The following year, a march was organized in commemoration of the Stonewall riots. Between 5,000 and 10,000 men and women had attended the march. In honor of Stonewall, many gay celebrations were started in the month of June, including New York City's Gay Pride Week. Today, the Stonewall Bar is once again a popular gay spot in New York City, occupying part of the original Stonewall Inn. Many locals go there to pay their respects and commemorate the riots. This is can you guys see it? This was taken shortly after the riots. You know, Stonewall means fight back. It's pretty clear that it was like a turning point in the whole movement because people began to get fed up. Why are they being targeted for who they are? These are sources that I used. Pamela Skillings and Lionel Wright are two specific people who I studied their articles because they had multiple articles about the Stonewall riots and the gay issues as a, you know, as a whole. They had between them they had about 4 or 5 articles each on the internet. And the red is where I got the picture from. And that's it. It's another picture.
Good, thank you. You can leave your notes with me. Any comments anyone has for Mary Beth?
Am I leaving this up or no?
You can close it. Any comments for Mary Beth? Any suggestions that you have for her persuasive speech? Does anyone have the obvious suggestion so that I don't have to make it? Yes, go ahead.
Too many words.
Too many. All right, there was too many. Well, there was too many words.
Yeah.
Too many words up there. But what was she using the PowerPoint as? And I've seen people do this, and it doesn't work, and you can't do it in this class. You were reading off the slideshow. You weren't looking at us. You were reading what was on the slideshow. Now, I can read. I don't have to have anyone read for me. I've been able to read for many decades now. And everyone in here, I think, can read. So there's no reason to read what we see. And there's no reason to actually put the speech up there because we're listening to the speech. What we need is pictures, graphs, stuff to supplement what you're saying. We don't want the speech up there. We hear the speech. Okay? So you don't want to use the slideshow to pull you through the speech. And I've seen people do this. You're not the first or the last to use PowerPoint to actually organize the speech. The speech is organized on your cards. That is just there to show us something, not to pull you through the speech. And so I don't want you to get into that habit of